Every town in America has a house people avoid after dark, but in Atchison, Kansas, there's one house that even some paranormal investigators say they would never spend the night in twice. Not because someone was murdered there, not because of an urban legend, but because the people who lived inside claimed they weren't alone. They reported footsteps echoing through empty rooms, children's laughter in the middle of the night, and in one of the most disturbing claims, mysterious scratches that appeared on a man's body with no clear explanation. Was it fear playing tricks on the mind? Or is the Sallie House hiding a secret that no one has been able to explain for decades? Tonight, we're stepping inside one of America's most infamous haunted houses, and by the end of this video, you can decide whether this is just another ghost story or something far more terrifying. At first glance, the Sallie House doesn't look frightening. It's a modest two-story home in Atchison, Kansas, built more than a century ago. Nothing about its appearance suggests it would become one of America's most talked about haunted locations. If you drove past it, you'd probably never stop to look twice. But appearances can be deceiving. The story that made this house famous began in the early 1990s. A young couple, Tony and Deborah Pickman, moved into the home expecting nothing more than a peaceful life together. Instead, they claimed they experienced events that would change their lives forever. It started with small things, lights turning on by themselves, objects appearing in different places, unexplained noises in the middle of the night. Like many people would, they tried to ignore it. They blamed old wiring, an aging house, or simple stress. But the activity didn't stop. According to the couple, it only became more intense. They began hearing what sounded like a little girl running through the house. Sometimes they heard quiet laughter. Other times, they said they felt as though someone was standing just behind them, even when the room was completely empty. And then, something happened that would make national headlines. Tony claimed mysterious scratches suddenly appeared across his body. Some marks were so severe that they looked almost like claw wounds. He insisted they appeared without any explanation. Photographs of those injuries spread across paranormal communities and eventually made the Sallie House famous throughout the United States. Was it a supernatural attack, a medical condition, or something else entirely? No one has ever been able to prove the answer, but this was only the beginning, because the deeper investigators looked into the history of the house, the stranger the story became. Before we go any further, there's something important you should know. The story you're about to hear is part documented history and part local legend. Some claims have been reported by witnesses and paranormal investigators. Others have never been verified, but together, they created one of America's most chilling haunted house stories. According to the most famous legend, many years ago, a little girl named Sallie was brought to a local doctor with severe abdominal pain. The story claims the doctor believed she needed emergency surgery without modern anesthesia taking effect, or according to some versions, before it had fully worked. The operation reportedly began. The terrified child screamed in pain, and according to the legend, she died during the procedure. It's said that her frightened spirit never found peace. Many people believe that spirit is the reason strange things are still reported inside the Sallie House today. But here's where the mystery gets even deeper. Despite the popularity of this story, researchers have never found convincing historical records proving that a girl named Sallie actually died in that house. No death certificate, no confirmed medical records, no newspaper report matching the legend. That hasn't stopped the story from spreading. In fact, some paranormal investigators believe the lack of evidence makes the mystery even stranger. Could the legend have changed over time? Or did witnesses unknowingly create a story to explain experiences they couldn't understand? No one knows. As interest in the house grew, paranormal teams from across America began visiting. They set up infrared cameras, voice recorders, motion sensors, and electromagnetic field meters. Some investigators claimed they captured unexplained sounds. Others reported children's laughter, soft whispers, or strange knocking coming from empty rooms. A few even said they felt sudden cold spots that disappeared within seconds. Skeptics argue these experiences could have natural explanations. Old houses can make unexpected noises. Temperature changes can happen for ordinary reasons. And when people expect something frightening, the human mind can interpret normal events in unusual ways. Even so, the Sallie House refused to disappear from the public eye. Television crews arrived. Documentaries were filmed. Paranormal investigators debated what they experienced. With every new investigation, the legend grew larger, and then some visitors began claiming they didn't just hear strange things. They believed something inside the house was actually trying to communicate with them. But the most disturbing reports were still to come. By the early 2000s, the Sallie House wasn't just a local ghost story anymore. It had become one of America's most talked about paranormal locations. People traveled from across the country, hoping to experience something they could never explain. Some visitors left disappointed. Others left convinced they had encountered something beyond science. During overnight investigations, several teams claimed their cameras captured unexplained shadows moving through empty hallways. Some audio recorders picked up faint voices that no one remembered hearing during the investigation. These recordings, often called electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, remain one of the most debated pieces of paranormal evidence. Believers say they're messages from spirits. Skeptics argue they're simply random sounds, background noise, or the brain finding patterns where none exist. Then came the stories that frightened investigators the most. A few claimed they suddenly felt dizzy. Others described an overwhelming sense of sadness or fear the moment they entered certain rooms. Some even reported feeling as if someone was standing inches behind them, only to turn around and find absolutely no one there. And yet, despite decades of investigations, no scientific study has ever confirmed that the Sallie House is haunted. No verified evidence has proven that ghosts live inside. That doesn't mean the experiences weren't real to the people who reported them. It simply means no one has been able to explain exactly what happened. Maybe it's psychology, maybe it's coincidence, or maybe there really is something inside that house we still don't understand. Today, the Sallie House continues to attract paranormal investigators, curious travelers, and horror fans from around the world. For some, it's just another old house with a famous legend. For others, it's one of the most terrifying places in America, and perhaps that's what makes this story so unforgettable. Not because we know the truth, but because we don't. Every creak in the floor, every unexplained whisper, every shadow caught from the corner of your eye leaves the same question behind. What if, just this once, the legend is true? If you ever find yourself driving through Atchison, Kansas, you might pass an ordinary-looking white house. In daylight, it seems harmless, but after dark, many people refuse to walk past it alone, because whether you believe in ghosts or not, the mystery of the Sallie House is still waiting for its next visitor. So here's a question for you. If someone offered you one night inside the Sallie House, would you accept or would you walk away? Let me know your answer in the comments. And if you enjoy real American horror stories, haunted places, and unexplained mysteries. Subscribe for more, because America's darkest legends are only just beginning.